Monday, May 26th, almost 8:30. Happy Memorial Day to everyone. Doing my recap from yesterday. We did the 16-mile day yesterday. Big climbs at the end, like 3,000 foot. We summited, I think it was Bald Knob, around 4,050 feet. And then we came down to the shelter here, which is, I can't remember. It's right there anyway. It's a pretty nice place. There is an outhouse, there's a big field for tenting. I think there were 2 people tenting, maybe. One was a section hiker and the other one had a bicycle, so not section hiking. Oh, yesterday started out, yesterday was a beautiful day anyway, from start to finish. A lot of things happened yesterday. We hit our 800-mile mark yesterday. Pretty excited about that. We went by a reservoir, which I couldn't get really any video. You could see it through the trees, and we weren't that far from it, but the foliage was dense, so it was hard to really see that reservoir very well. Lynchburg Reservoir is what it was. Let me see if I can do that without getting my feet wet here. My feet will be wet by the end of the day anyway. It's supposed to be showers and cloudy, and the next 3 days I guess are going to be wet. We crossed a suspension bridge yesterday. We went through an old settlement that was for some freed slaves had set up. Very, very interesting. A lot of history there. We did find some remnants. We did some sketchy stuff trying to get to it, but we made it. So no wet feet, nothing bad. Worked out pretty good. But it was kind of fun to go through all that. We did stop at a shelter in that settlement area, Brown Creek Shelter. Took a pack break there. Went down to the creek and took off my shoes and socks and soaked my feet for a while. Went back up and got sure my feet were dry, and we packed up and moseyed on. It was a good day yesterday. A lot of things happened yesterday, so it took us a long time. We didn't get to the shelter here until 7 o'clock last night, so we had a full day's worth of hiking and exploring. I said the fun fact last night. We crossed this giant tree that was across. It was quite a ways up to. My video was all the way across it, but I don't know why we didn't take our packs off before we went. Oh boy, I'm telling you. But we didn't. We didn't take our packs off and walked across that log and saw remnants of a chimney and foundations and corner wall, and there was plaques that told about the settlement. It was around 1900 and it disbanded in 1920, but they grew tobacco, corn, wheat in those areas. You can see all the old stone walls and where they had been cleared for crops, and it was very, very interesting. The end of the day kicked our butt big time because of that. It was a pretty good climb coming out of there. So, but anyway, we were feeling pretty good this morning, other than being a little bit cold, damp. Not raining right now, so I think we want to hit the trail before it does start raining. That'll make the day a little bit better, but we're going to be heading out here shortly. this. I got a cool video of a butterfly yesterday. Landed on my sit pad, which was strapped to the top of my pack while I was sitting at a picnic table. It was like a blue and black and really beautiful butterfly. That was kind of cool. The highlights for yesterday were definitely the remnants of the settlement that had been, it wasn't there very long, I guess just 20 years, but there still remains are there of the history of that. So pretty cool day yesterday. Plus our 800 mile. We didn't kill ourselves yesterday trying to get here, but today it looks like we could have, 17.5 mile day if we can push 2 shelters out. It's supposed to be rainy the next 3 days or so we'll see how that goes. The weatherman's been wrong before, so we'll take what we get and we'll get as far as we can, and I'll let you know how the day goes as we go on. If it's raining too much, I won't take much video because it's just the phone does not work, especially if my hands are wet. I do have hand warmers this morning because, my fingers are frozen this morning already. So I had my oatmeal with honey and a spoonful of peanut butter and jelly mixed in with it, just for the extra calories. Hot chocolate with the coffee packet in it, so kind of like a mocha, if you will. That was pretty good. I'm all packed up. I think I'm going to leave my windbreaker raincoat on this morning because it's probably in the 40s. It's not very warm. Very damp. This shelter that we came to last night was 6/10 of a mile off the trail. So we do have to walk 6/10 of a mile back up out of here to the trail. And this wasn't here yesterday, but it is now after the rain last night. It wasn't an extreme amount of rain, so the brook will be easy to cross to get back over. So I guess that's a wrap for this morning, and I'll catch up with you a little bit later today. Hopefully it stays dry enough to get some video. I don't know what we'll get for views today. I guess it depends on the rain and the fog. It's a little bit foggy in areas that I can see. TK spent the night here last night as well. It is a really nice place. I'll tell you the name of the shelter in just a minute. It's written on the side of the shelter. Cow Camp Gap Shelter, George Washington National Forest. By the time I got done watching my videos and looking at my pictures from yesterday, it was too dark to be able to make a decent video. So I don't think I've forgotten anything from yesterday, but all right, I'm going to let you go, and I'll talk to you later on today. Good morning, May 26th, Memorial Day. It's about 9:30. We've been again climbing. Getting ready to wake us up in the morning. The grass is very wet, quite tall along the sides of the trail. But we've come out into this meadow, and I'm sure it's beautiful out there. But this is what we get today, so we'll take it. Still on trail. really foggy today. The ferns are pretty nice and green, green. Yesterday I saw phlox, wild phlox, and I love those. They smell so good. Very, very fragrant. They're just starting to open, so. So I guess now that we're up at elevation, I don't even know what we're at. It's probably pretty close to 4,000 feet. A little bit of a breeze. I do have my raincoat on or my windbreaker on. No rain pants because that's kind of foolish. I just get so darn hot. I'm even hot with my little raincoat on, but not overheated for sure. We're gonna walk along this ridge here. It is still going up, so you can't tell by the video very well. Despite the climb. Oh, here's the Indian paintbrushes. They're not open right at the moment, but these look like to be the yellow ones. They often grow in the meadows that are not fertilized. And it looks like they did a control burn up here and got rid of maybe some unwanted things. They're going to do a control burn again. There was a sign on the shelter, and which means they'll close a section or whatever, but we're beyond it now, so. But it looks like they did burn earlier this year, right here. Maybe they did it in April. It said April or May. We didn't see any signs until now. But, all right. If I come across anything interesting, I'll be sure to share it with you. Until then, we'll talk to you soon. Good afternoon. Memorial Day, Monday, May 26th. I have to look at my watch every single video that I do. Well, the last gap we stopped at had trail magic, and it was freaking awesome because it's cold, it's damp. He had an easy up type thing set up, and he cooked pancakes and sausage. He had some Nutri-Grain bars, apples, Mountain Dew, Coca-Cola. I think there was water. Yeah, perfect timing. It was awesome. We had a really good hot. We were just talking about too, we were going to stop at that gap and maybe even break out our stoves to have something, something hot like a cup of soup or something. And then, sure enough, trail magic. I had 3 pancakes and 2 sausage links and a Mountain Dew and a Nutri-Grain bar and a Jolly Rancher for dessert. So, We just smoked that last mountain back there. My feet, unfortunately, were like clubs because they're so cold from stopping. The rest of my body was warmed up. My feet are starting to get there now. They went from big heavy clubs to pins and needles. So they're starting to come back to life. We talked for quite a while down there. A couple other guys came in behind us. I don't know who they were. Thru-hikers, but I don't recognize them. So they probably have caught up to us and are cranking on. They didn't stay very long. And then TK came in, so we left him this morning back at the shelter. So when he came through, I was glad to see him eat, to be honest. So he didn't eat very much last night, something like a package of Spam or something. And yesterday was a 15, 16 mile day, and yeah. But anyway, so, check that. Beautiful. And I'm falling down over the bank, trying to get a picture of those. All right. That was beautiful, wasn't it? See, there's all these things. Oh, I didn't even have to fall down the bank to get a picture because there's more right here. Really pretty. All right. So yeah, no views. We walked through an open meadow, which I did do some video in. That was the second gap we came to. The first gap was loaded with people, cars, and everybody that had been tenting. Were all packing up their wet tents and stuffing them in their cars and trucks. And from a weekend of camping, I would say. Maybe some hiking in there too, I don't know. But yeah, it was a really good timing for Trail Magic, and I'm glad he was out there taking part of his Memorial Day to come out and cook for us. So that was perfect, absolutely perfect. Gave us a new bounce in our step in this damp kind of day. I don't know how far we're going to get today. You know, 2 shelters up is like 17 and a half miles, and I'm not sure either one of us are going to do well with that today. We'll see. Do one day at a time, and we'll see where we get. So, how you doing? Come on up, don't stop, don't stop. Alright, so TK's up front there, and Fun Fact is in front of me. I'm just the sweep. I'm the sweep. Alright. Well, I'll let you know how the day progresses as we go. According to the guy that did the Trail Magic, the rest of today is supposed to be dry. Now, it might be foggy and damp, but rain-wise, it's supposed to be dry. So we'll see how far we get today, and we'll go from there. So, all right. I'll catch up with you a little bit later. Headed north. Good evening, May 26th, Memorial Day. We made it about 10 and a half miles today. That's as far as we made it today. But we left the shelter this morning. It's been really, really cold. I think it's still it might be 52, 53 degrees right now. But it's still pretty chilly. So if I drop the phone, that's because my hand got cold when I dropped the phone. I've done that before. Anyway, we left there. We uphill right away, and then we got to a kind of a bald meadow type area. There was really some nice spots up there. Even, I mean, the views were probably good from there because of the elevation, but it was just so foggy and damp. So like walking in clouds. I did take some video. I did see some meadow flowers that I took pictures and videos of. It was a lot of different things, wild phlox to Queen of the Prairie to, I don't know, Indian paintbrushes. There was a lot of different flowers that I came across today. And then we were talking about stopping at the second gap that we came to. The first gap was loaded with people that had apparently camped in that area in the fields. I'm sure they were enjoying the weekend with their family and stuff, but everybody was packing things up when we went through there and stuffing all the wet tents and stuff into their vehicles, and we kept walking. So the next gap we had told ourselves, we were like, you know what, I'm cold. We need something warm for lunch maybe. So we had talked about popping out, when we got to that gap, to stopping, taking a pack break, and just having a hot cup of soup or hot cocoa or something. And we got down to the gap there, and there was trail magic. So pancakes, sausage, Nutri-Grain bars. Anyway, couldn't have come at a better time. So that was awesome. Really, really, really was good. And I took a little video talking about that earlier too. So we left the gap, powered up the first couple of hills, and probably due to the trail magic for sure. We powered up those hills, and we kind of pooped out after a fashion, and it was just getting colder, and it seemed like more damp. So we talked about stopping at this shelter here, which is 10.5 miles, because the next shelter is another 6.6 miles, and there was quite a bit of an incline. So after yesterday being an extremely long day and not getting into camp until 7 o'clock gave us no time to kind of relax. Everything had to be done, in an hour or so. So Salt Log Gap is where we got our trail magic. 5.5 miles back that way. So we stopped here, and we ran into a rail stretcher, and we haven't seen him in, I don't know, several days, maybe even a week or more ago. So it was good. He just stopped at the shelter. He was going to move on, but looked at the weather and decided that he would try to do more tomorrow. And tomorrow's weather is far worse than today. It's going to be like 1 inch to 2 inches of rain. So we'll see how tomorrow works out. We got to get to a shelter so we don't have to set up. But the next night after that, it's supposed to rain as well. And that's, oh boy. That's the next shelter in between there is something that is longer than we are going to be able to do right now. So we'll wind up tenting one of those nights anyway, and then hopefully get to town the next day. So, town of Waynesboro or somewhere near there. So that's a few days out. So today's only Monday. Hope to be there for Thursday. So here we are at this shelter. I can't remember the name of it again. I'm so bad with that, so. But I'll walk down. There's one other, well, we rail stretchers here, and then two other ladies, and one other guy who is afraid to get the norovirus, so he stays away from everybody. Clean your hands. Don't share your food. Alright, so the walk down to the shelter was about 2/10 of a mile, I guess. There's still, things are still a little bit wet. I have my pants on, my rain pants on, my puffy, and my windbreaker over the top of that, so. And I've just been walking and talking with you guys. The trail is kind of pretty. But that kind of grass will get you soaked in a matter of seconds when it's all wet and leaning into the trail. And of course that runs the tick situation. You know, I've seen a couple. I haven't had any on me. Actually, I had a big dog tick, but he wasn't attached to it, so he's gone. But fun facts, I had a couple of little tiny ones on me, and so I've just been lucky so far. But I do put on some DEET, and I did have my shoes and stuff sprayed with permethrin before. So, but right now there's some blue skies and sunshine. Not quite enough to get my sneakers to dry, but there's still a lot of moisture in the air. All right, I hope everybody had a good Memorial Day. Mine was pretty good. You know, my favorite part of today, I don't really know. Some of the wildflowers were really beautiful. The trail magic came at a perfect time. Yeah, I guess that's the two things that I'm gonna have to go for. It's always nice to get to the shelter. It's always nice when you see that shelter sign and you're ready to be done for the day. Well, done as far as hiking with the pack. So. Some pretty big oak trees down here. The birds are still singing. All right, I guess that's a wrap for the night. I'm going to go down and socialize a little bit, and I'll catch up with you guys a little bit later.